We have enough pain, losses, tragedies. Life can be difficult. So we don't have the time or the energy or the bandwidth to delve into nutrition and diet. So we go along with what is conventional and convenient. It takes us off our mind. But then we pay the consequence. In order to improve the world, in order to make a bigger difference than just our own lives, we have to break the collective illusion. Hello, friends. It's the Carnivore Rabbi here, as always, to meet, pray, and love. I think most of us recognize that carnivore opens our eyes to so many falsehoods in our world. What we thought was true is not really true. Vegetables are supposed to be healthy. We know they're not. And it's not just around diet, though, that carnivore opens our eyes. We see this. It's an awakening on any number of issues. Finances, environmental issues. We live in this world of what one author calls collective illusions. In fact, he used this as a title of a book, Collective Illusions. Highly recommend it. Our brains respond to what we believe is true rather than what is true. And what we believe is true is very much shaped by what others think and do. In fact, the author uses the example of the supposed toilet paper shortage during the early days of the virus. You remember when people were pulling toilet paper off the shelves and clearing it off of Amazon? I remember ordering once and having to wait, I forget, it must have been like 4 months for 4 weeks for a very simple 6-pack of toilet paper. And the truth is, there was really no toilet paper shortage. It was a collective illusion kindled by news reports and fears. But ironically, when people responded to the illusion, when they believed it and when they started buying, they actually created it. They made the illusion real, and there was a shortage. That's one of the dangers of collective illusions. They can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. We believe something is true, and then we make it true. Now, what does this have to do with the carnivore diet and saving the world? The author of this book, Collective Illusions, made an observation that really resonated with me. He said, quote, "Confused and unsure of ourselves, we surrender to the crowd because doing so relieves our stress. Caving to the majority opinion also diffuses our personal responsibility for our decisions, making it easier to bear mistakes." This observation helps us explain why the illusion of the standard American diet persists. Nutrition seems difficult and confusing to so many people. We get so many mixed messages. Eggs are good, then suddenly eggs are bad. Finish the food on your plate. I remember hearing that when I was a kid. But watch your weight. And then the scientists and doctors themselves offer so much conflicting advice. You can Google a topic, and then you can see 2 prestigious medical journals getting to the exact opposite conclusion on such issues. What is the average person supposed to do? We follow whatever is conventional. We follow the crowd. It feels better, and it diffuses personal responsibility. I was just doing what I thought was right, what everyone else was doing. And the truth is, what that leads to is everyone getting sick and feeling body pain as they age. And then we just say, that's what's happening to everybody, so it must be what's natural, what's normal. It's a self-perpetuating cycle. And remember, I know, as a rabbi who counsels many people, I know that life is hard enough. We don't have the time and the inclination, most people don't, some of us do, to really dive into nutrition and learn about it. We have enough pain, losses, tragedies. Life can be difficult. So we don't have the time or the energy or the bandwidth to delve into nutrition and diet. So we go along with what is conventional and convenient. It takes us off our mind. But then we pay the consequence. In order to improve the world, in order to make a bigger difference than just our own lives, we have to break the collective illusion. And so how do we break free of it? How can our act of personal health and personal salvation to a degree, how can that resonate in the wider world? Everything we do can resonate in the wider world. But the author of this book has 3 great concrete suggestions, and I think each of them can help us as carnivores and as human beings. The first is that we reclaim our power, and that involves continuous learning, what you're doing right now. He writes, quote, "Economists have shown that for every incremental increase you feel in self-confidence, you give 3 times less weight to the actions and views of others. By the same token, the more your skills improve, the less likely you are to copy others. You become less sensitive to social feedback, and your self-esteem grows along with your overall health and happiness. This boost to your psychological immune system makes you more resilient in the face of adversity and less vulnerable to developing depression, anxiety, or disorders. Initiating this kind of self-development is much easier than it may appear. In fact, each of us can improve by actively learning and practicing, just as we might gain skill and confidence in repairing a kitchen drawer. Our brains are resilient and flexible, and he writes, they are custom built for a life of learning. Keep learning. Keep improving. Do what interests us and where we can grow. Even if we have a job that sometimes doesn't challenge us, but we need to pay the bills, we can take the time when we're not working to pursue and grow in our passion, whatever it may be. It's a key, lifelong learning. And doing a small part of our life where we can continually grow that we enjoy can multiply into other parts. Second thing we have to do, build trust with others. We have been culturally programmed to distrust others. It's true. We assume that they are out to manipulate us. Our culture is less kind than it used to be. It's like we assume everybody's the used car salesman trying to get us to sign on the dotted line. And surveys of people back this up. We assume bad motivations about other people. We assume they're in it for the money or they're in it to win, whereas we are in it for love and for participation and for the right reasons, but we assume the worst about others. What if we gave other people the benefit of the doubt? What if we realized that deep down we are more alike than different? And he writes, this is hard to believe. Shocking as it may seem, and despite our raw political hostilities, we privately share a majority of salient values. In 2021, a study conducted by Populus revealed that by nearly every measure, most of us share the same hopes and priorities for our own lives and the country as a whole. Americans across the political spectrum privately agree that individual rights, high-quality health care, leadership accountability, neighborhood safety, an unbiased criminal justice system, and equality before the law are all important for themselves personally and for the future of our country. Can you believe that? The media tries to divide us so much, but actually we share so much in common. What if we could actualize that trust? What if we could build greater social ties? And as far as the carnivore diet goes, this is directly applicable. We often fear ostracism and criticism from others, but I've found that people who care about us want us to be healthy and happy. If we just say and show how well this way of eating is making us feel, I think others will be more supportive. That's how it spreads. People often ask me how my synagogue members respond to the carnivore diet. And I don't talk about it nonstop like I do here on YouTube. And by the way, please subscribe if you're finding this content useful. I love teaching. I love connecting with so many of you, sending me emails, commenting. It feeds my soul, and I'm so glad I can be of help. So please subscribe and keep this going. If I feel good, full of energy and healthy, I can serve others better. And so they want that for me, just as I want that for them. The third thing we can do, live our truth. The author uses the phrase positive deviance. This is essential for carnivores. When the status quo, when what's happening now isn't working, trying something different can work. And if we're persistent enough, what's different will catch on because it works. He writes, the smallest choices you and I make every single day can change the world for better or worse. The simple act of refusing to live a lie has the power to transform who we are and what we are capable of, both as individuals and as a society. In other words, trying to live a truthful life is one of the most important things we can do for ourselves and each other. We have truthfully found the proper human diet. When we embrace that truth, embracing this carnivore way of eating that nourishes us, we not only help ourselves, but we help the world to get closer to that truth.